Hello everyone, welcome to Krishna's online lectures. In this lesson of engineering mechanics, I am going to discuss about types of supports in trusses and frames. So let's start the lesson. In previous lesson, I have discussed about the mathematical conditions of trusses and frame. So if we want to define about the truss, that truss is perfect truss, over rigid truss and collapsible truss, we need equation that is m equals to 2j minus 3 and another equation m is greater than 2j minus 3 and third equation m is less than 2j minus 3. So with the help of these three equations, we can define different types of trusses. So this equation is representing perfect truss, this equation is representing over rigid truss and third equation is representing collapsible truss. So with the help of these three equations, we can define mathematical conditions as well as different types of trusses. Now, how many points we have to remember when we solve any truss problem? So, I have discussed about few points in previous lesson. That is, whatever truss we have. For example, here we have this diagram and this diagram is having number of member. This diagram or this truss we are considering as the assembly of number of members. So whatever number of members we have and these member should be straight member. These members should not curved member or wavy. These member should be straight and each end of the member should be joined by different joining methods. So these particular ends are considered as the joint. So with the help of number of members, so this straight line is a member, this straight line is a member. So every straight line we are considering here number of members. So with the help of number of members and here each member are joined together. So these points are considered as joint. So with the help of total number of joints, we can define the types of trusses. Now, this truss is applicable or here we are considering some external force which are applicable over this particular frame. So, whatever external loading is subjected, that load should applied at the joints only. This point you have to remember. First point, the member should be straight. It should not be curved or wavy. Member always straight. That member can be inclined. The position of the member can be inclined or horizontal or vertical, but member should be straight. So this is our first point. And the second point is load should applied only at the joint. So on members, we are not considering any kind of external load. So load if we apply, so we can apply at this particular point. We can apply in inclined form also, but it should be at the joint. At this particular joint, we already have force. So this point is representing most important point. Here over the member, we are not going to consider any external load, neither inclined nor vertical, or here in horizontal position also we will not consider any external load. Only axial load we will consider, that is the effect of external loading over this particular straight member. Here we have member. So if we are considering this is our member, so on member we will only consider external loading in the form of tensile load or compressive load. That is the effect of external force. That is what? It is the effect of external force. So here, if we are considering one load at this particular point, this load P kilonewton load at this point. So this P will act in vertically downward direction. So it will create some effect over the number of member which are joined together, and that effect we will consider in the form of tensile load or compressive load, and that load or force should act actually along the member, and each member is called two force member. So over that particular member, either we will consider axial tensile force or we will consider axial compressive force. By this way we can define two force member. So these points you have to remember. Now next point is about the reaction, that is related to support. So one point which you need to remember, that whatever truss we are considering here, every truss should be statically determinant truss. For every problem, we will consider truss should be statically determinant. So here we will apply equation summation of fx equals to 0, summation of fy equals to 0 and summation of m equals to 0, summation of moment equals to 0 to do the force analysis. These three equations we will apply to define number of forces which are applicable on each member, that is the effect of external load. So these three equations are sufficient to define the force which is applicable over each member of the truss or frame. So if these three equations are sufficient, in that case our truss is statically determinant truss. Now if this particular truss is statically determinant truss, so this truss should be supported by different types of support. So here we are considering two types of support for a statically determinant truss. Support is what? Here you can see this particular term, this triangle is representing the support of the frame. So these supports are also helping this truss to avoid deformation or to resist deformation against the external loading. This particular support is providing rigidity to the frame. Now, how many types of support we should consider for a statically determinant truss? That is roller support and hinge support. So these two types of support basically we consider for any kind of frame or truss. So here one by one I will discuss about the roller support and hinge support. So this is the diagram which is representing roller support and this is the diagram which is representing hinge support. So here if we talk about roller support, so roller support is nothing. Here truss is supported by number of rollers and these rollers are situated at one horizontal fixed surface. So this is our horizontal fixed surface. Over this horizontal fixed surface there are number of rollers are placed that is supporting the truss or frame. So because of this roller, here we can define the movement restriction of the truss. So basically, first point which you need to remember about the roller support, these supports are frictionless support or these roller support should be frictionless support. And according to the movement of roller, here we are providing rollers between the frame and the fixed horizontal surface. So this particular roller support is restricting the perpendicular motion of the frame. Translation can be possible in this direction, or in this direction because of the position of the roller, but it is restricting the motion in perpendicular direction. So in this particular direction there is no motion can happen because of this roller support. And the most important point which you need to remember about the roller support, that is reaction. In free body diagram, I have discussed about the reaction where we should consider reaction. So every support in a free body diagram should be replaced by the reaction. So this roller support is also replaceable by the reaction. But here we will consider one reaction only in perpendicular direction. If we want to define different forces in free body diagram, so in free body diagram, first force we consider weight, second force we define by the support. So every support is replaced by the reaction. So here we will apply the same concept. Here this is our support which is supporting the truss. So if we want to define the different forces, so reaction is one of the force that is represented by the support. So here this roller support we will replace by one perpendicular reaction only. So reaction at right angle to the base is defining the roller support. Here there is only one reaction we will consider in perpendicular direction. This point you need to remember when you solve problems related to truss. Next point is hinge support. Hinge support is this kind of support. You can see we are considering one hinge which is supporting the truss. So here this hinge is placed between the fixed surface fixed horizontal surface and the frame. So this line is representing the truss or frame, and here this particular hinge is fixed with the horizontal fixed surface. So basically this hinge support is preventing translation in all the direction. In roller support, what we consider, in roller support we can define translation, but there is no motion or translation in perpendicular direction. But in hinge support, there is no translation possible in every direction, neither in perpendicular direction nor in this horizontal direction or along the horizontal surface. But rotation can be possible. This type of motion can be possible in hinge support, but it prevents translation in all the direction. Now, this particular hinge support is also replaceable by the reaction, because it is a support and it is supporting, this particular support is supporting the truss or frame and it is providing the rigidity to the frame. So similarly, in this particular roller support, we have replaced this support by reaction that is acting perpendicular to the surface. But here reaction we will define, or we will split the reaction which is replaceable by the hinge support. This hinge support we will replace by one reaction, and that reaction we will consider in two components. Here we will consider two components of the reaction for the hinge support, in vertical direction or in horizontal direction. So first point is, it is preventing translation in all direction, but rotation can be possible in this direction or in this direction. And if rotation is also not possible, that is considered as a fixed support. So here rotation can be possible, but there is no translation in every direction, and reaction is replaceable. So this support is replaceable, or we can replace this support by the reaction, and this reaction can split into two components. One is the vertical component and another is the horizontal component, and this reaction or line of action of reaction always depends on the load system on the frame. So whatever loading system we are considering over the frame, that is defining the reaction or line of action of reaction of the hinge support. So here this reaction is split into two parts, RV and RH. So RV is representing the vertical reaction and RH is representing the horizontal reaction. So what is the difference between hinge support and roller support? The main difference which you have to remember when you solve problems related to trusses or frames, or if you are doing force analysis of trusses and frame, if there is a roller support given, in that case you have to consider only perpendicular reaction perpendicular to the surface. But if hinge support is given, you have to consider vertical reaction as well as the horizontal reaction. So when you solve numerical, you will get better idea about the supports. But this point you need to remember. This is very, very important point when you solve questions related to trusses and frame. And difference is, here hinge support is preventing all translation in all direction, but here translation is possible along the horizontal surface, but there is no translation possible in perpendicular direction. Let us consider this example. So with the help of this example, I'm going to define roller support and the hinge support. So here we have number of members. So M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. So here we have 7 members, and accordingly we will define joints. So 1, 5 joints we have, and external loading we are considering over one joint only, and because of this external loading we will consider axial loading in each member according to external load. So here in this form we can define the axial loading in the members according to this external load. And next point, that is the support. So if this support we are considering as roller support and this support we are considering as hinge support. So how we can replace this particular roller support and this hinge support with the help of reaction. So at this particular support, if we want to draw the free body diagram, so at this particular point, we are considering external load P. At this point, we are considering roller support. So this support should be replaceable by reaction R1. So only perpendicular reaction we will consider, and here there is hinge support. So here we will consider, let us consider R2. So R2V and R2H. So at this point we will consider two reaction, vertical reaction and horizontal reaction. And according to position of number of members, we will define axial loading over the number of members. So accordingly, we will define axial loading, and we will define the forces which is applicable actually over the member. So with the help of free body diagram concept, we will solve this particular equation. And how we can define this vertical and horizontal member? So with the help of this diagram, for example, here we are considering angle theta with the horizontal surface. So RV, here RV we can define according to R and theta. So it will be R sine theta, and RH is R cos theta. So here RV and RH we can define with the help of resolution of forces. So here we will apply all the concepts which we have seen in free body diagram. We will apply resolution of forces, we will apply concept of free body diagram, as well as we will apply conditions of equilibrium to define the truss, that truss is statically determinant or not. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can rate, review and share this lesson with your friends and your known people. And if you want to watch more lessons related to mechanical engineering, please subscribe the channel.